In today's video, we're going to be diving deep into the powerful themes of letting go, understanding, and redefining what self-care truly is, and diving into the understanding that God is always there for you. We will explore ways to release that burden that is holding you back, redefine what self-care truly is, and find comfort in God's unwavering love. If this is something that you're interested in, then stick around. I have some things to show you. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Cassundra, and over here we're doing all things mindful. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and stick around. Being more mindful in how I'm doing things in my everyday life. And I've put together this video for you all if you're wanting to be more mindful in your everyday life as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in there. So the first thing that we can do to be more mindful is I'm going to go ahead and give you permission. Yes, I'm giving you permission to go ahead and quit. So what do I mean by this? Be okay with quitting. I had to learn, friends. So I spent the last year getting more time that every system that I try will not work, and it's okay to quit doing that. One of the things that I started at the beginning of this year, if you were following me, was I was using a bullet journal. And in that bullet journal, y'all, it was just blowing up everywhere. It was all over Pinterest. I know it's been around for a while, but I was like, oh, I want a bullet journal. I went and got all these supplies, the big thing of Sharpies. I had it all, y'all. And I sat down and I was putting together, it was like a period planner. It was like how much water I'm drinking. One that did help me was the no cursing and being able to color in, whatever picture I drew for the day to do that. But I realized, like, as the month went on, that there was something that wasn't working for me. I love my planner. I love to-do lists. I love alarms. But that bullet journal just wasn't for me. Yes, I spent money on journals. Yes, I spent money on the Sharpie. And yes, I dedicated a lot of time, sitting down, researching what I wanted to do. But in the end, y'all, I had to quit. I had to quit, and you do too. If you're trying something and it's not working, it's okay to quit doing it. Other things that I've tried and it just wasn't working for me was keto. We're always trying to lose weight and things like that. I didn't do that this year, but last year and the year before, I was doing the keto. I was cutting those carbs, y'all. I mean, it was down to nothing. And yes, like a lot of other people, I did experience the keto flu. And I was like, why do I keep putting myself through this? Why do I keep putting myself through this? Y'all, that just wasn't for me. So I had to give myself permission to quit. It wasn't that I'm quitting on being healthy because I quitted that diet. It's just that I'm quitting on that system because that doesn't work for me. It's not that I'm quitting on, building routines and holding myself accountable. It's just that bullet journal just wasn't something that was in the works for me. So I'm giving you permission. Yes, quit it. If you're doing something and it's just not working, quit. I want to also allow you the opportunity to stop making excuses. Quit making excuses. If there's something you want to do, go for it. I used to do this when it came to my YouTube channel. I was like, I don't have the equipment. I've never done this. I don't know how to edit. You know what? The first thing you just got to do is just push record, upload something, get used and get comfortable with talking. And that's something I'm still working on. It's a year into this now. Y'all, I don't have any equipment. I have my phone, I have me, and I have an idea, and that's a start. Stop making excuses and let's just go ahead and jump to it. Yes, we need to have a game plan. We all have these ideas, and ideas without a plan is just a dream, y'all. This is just what it is. So stop making excuses, and I'm giving you permission. Quit making excuses. Influence. Y'all, this day and time, it's not a time you can look around or pick up your cell phone if somebody's not influencing you to do something. Here on my channel, you may say that I'm influencing you to be more mindful, and I am. I feel like that is something that we all need to do, but everywhere you look, I'm telling you, quit being influenced by everything and by everybody. There are TV shows, to just name a few, things like, what's that show? I used to watch it, Love is Blind. There are people that are trying to influence you into things and into behaviors that are just not real. I do believe a lot of that stuff is scripted, but TikTok shops, I know a lot of people love that, and if you do, you enjoy that. But these are just my opinions. everything that you see on there, that's people's job to influence you to buy them. Of course, they're not going to get on there and say, yeah, this mascara is $35. I like it some days, but it really irritates my eye. It don't necessarily last all day. You're going to be reapplying 2 or 3 times a day. Who's going to get on there and say that? Nobody. So just be mindful when we're doing these things, or when we're like watching things and listening to things, that somebody is trying to influence you all the time. I hope that this is a good influence for y'all with being mindful. But I do want y'all to be mindful in that. And also even take what I say with caution, because everything that I give you a ways to be mindful may not be for you. Such as my next one, which is about being influenced in your faith. And this is something that I've learned like over the last 2 years. I grew up in the church. I'm Baptist, and I've had children now. And there's a couple things like how I've introduced God to my children, because of course I want my kids to know God. And as I've grown up, I've seen, as I went back to the church, and when I say went back to the church, not that I strayed away from God, I'm saying like went back to the physical church instead of like online, because that's what I do now. I noticed that people want me to be in faith how they want me to be in faith. And let me explain what I mean by that. If I'm not at Sunday school on time with my kids, or at sermon on time, it's how dare you. I've even been approached by a pastor one time. I was late coming in. I'm just gonna go ahead and explain what was going on, but this doesn't need explanation. But I want to give you an example, so I'm gonna use my own personal experience to explain what I mean. And me and the kids were late going to church, and I pulled up into the parking lot, and I realized that I didn't get our tithes and offering money, from the bank. So I left. We went to the bank, got the money, and came back. And then I called, well, I have to get change, and all that stuff. So when we got back to the church, of course we were behind, but we went. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of service, instead of him saying, hey, thank you for coming, thank you for bringing the kids, I haven't seen you in a while. I seen you came in here late. Well, I know I was late. It's almost like, and some may say, are you upset that he called you out? I'm admitting I was late. But what I'm saying is, there was an opportunity to say, hey, sister, it's been a long time and I haven't seen you, and I'm glad that you were able to make the church day, and thank you for bringing your kids. And I feel like I'm giving you permission to quit trying to like meet others' expectations when it comes to where you need to be in your faith. We are all on different levels. My faith journey may be that I like, journaling and reading my Bible and writing the verses and looking them up. You, on the other hand, may do better with like a devotional book, or, having an outline of what it is that you need to do on your journey with God. So don't let someone make you feel like that if you're not in the physical church, that you're not at church. Or if you have people saying that because you're online, that you're not at church. I want you to understand that God knows when you're having a relationship with him. Yes, there is a feeling I get when I'm on the grounds of God. But there's also a feeling I get when I'm just sitting here in my house and I'm like, God, I want to spend time with you, but I'm here at home. So I got out my Bible and I get out my cell phone and I go to church. God is pleased with me. I am wanting a relationship with him. And however you're trying to have a relationship with God, don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, make you feel like that what you're doing on your path to being closer to God is short of anything, because it's not. I'm here to tell you that if you're working on your relationship with God, you're working on your relationship with God, not your neighbor's relationship with God, not your mama's relationship with God. Yes, I said it. Not your mama's relationship with God, not your husband's relationship with God. This is your relationship with Jesus, and you need to just work on that. And I'm giving you permission to quit accepting what everybody says about it. Now that I've sort of got that off my chest, we're going to go on to the next one. So another thing that we can be mindful of that I've done over the past year on my journey of being more mindful, and something that you can do as well, is being more mindful of things such as hidden self-care. If you type in self-care right now, y'all, you're going to see facials, manicures, sew-ins, luxury vacations. You're going to see hypo this, hydro that. It's going to be some of everything. It's going to be money. Is that the sign for money? I don't know. Something like that. It's going to be about money, y'all. It's going to be about money. But let me tell you, that is not what self-care is. Self-care is knowing that you're doing something for yourself, for your being, that is for a higher, like, serving of yourself. You get what I'm saying? Let me give you an example of exactly what I'm talking about. So, I know we've all seen, like, take yourself on a spa day, take yourself shopping, take yourself on luxury vacation, take yourself, let's go buy, all the makeup, and let me, go buy the new handbag and shoes. Buying yourself something, okay, that is nice. But let me tell you what some other versions of self-care that nobody talks about. So I call them your hidden self-care. So have you ever thought about, just sitting down and making an appointment to make sure that your health is where it needs to be? Just following up with your primary care provider. Do you have a primary care provider? That is self-care. Yeah, people don't glamorize it and things like that, but that's part of it. Checking your blood pressure in the morning if you know that you have high blood pressure. If you're diabetic, making sure that the groceries that you purchase weekly or monthly or however you go shopping, are in alignment with your health. Other things such as, getting your pill planner out once a week or however you need to, and making sure that you're putting in those compartments what it is that you need to take to get yourself together. That is something that I'm going to be doing today. I just recently had an appointment, with asthma and allergy, and I found there's a couple of things there's a couple of things I'm allergic to, and there are some things that I need to get in place to keep my body where it needs to be. Those are forms of self-care, and we need to stop associating self-care with money. Self-care is being tossed around like it's all about like a financial tier. And if you're not up here and right there, then how can you engage in self-care? It's not that, I think we've gotten lost in this world right now with everything like just being bought and just making everything like materialistic and things like that. But we need to just take a minute, be mindful, and realize, I can engage in self-care without spending a dollar. Educating yourself is a form of self-care. Watching videos such as this, or watching a video of like, how can I, manage my finances better? Taking a college course, learning CPR, anything like that. And yeah, I just gave out, a couple of things. How could I not? I'm a nurse. But like little things like that, to help you. Those are all forms of self-care. It doesn't have to include money, y'all. It doesn't have to include money. And I feel like that was something that I needed to, let y'all know. So the next thing that I have here that I do want y'all to know is that another form of self-care, and I don't want to skip this. It was actually my second point, and I skipped to the third. But I really want to make sure I tell y'all this, y'all. And when I was writing this down for the video, I was like, I have to put it in there. Y'all, self-care is saying something nice about yourself, but not making it public. Facebook doesn't have to know. Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. No one has to know about it. Me waking up in the morning and saying, Cassundra, you are beautiful. Cassundra, you are going to have a blessed day. Cassundra, you are blessed in so many ways, and naming them. I don't have to put that on social media. Self-care is acknowledging that you love yourself, in private. You can have privacy. Y'all, there is nothing wrong with some things in your life being private. People make you feel like everything that's going on, you have to know. Yes, I can get up in the morning and I can look across the world and see what somebody else in a whole nother country is eating and drinking right now. What they did yesterday, how their kid is homeschooling. But y'all, there are some things that we can just keep private. And there is nothing wrong with that. Be mindful of what you say to yourself, and be mindful of what you say to the world. If you get nothing else from this video about being mindful, I want you to remember this as one of those things, if nothing else. Be kind to yourself, even in private. Don't say something nice to yourself, post it, and put a nice affirmation just to put it online when you don't feel that way. I want you to say something nice for yourself, and I want you to mean it. I want you to write it down and be like, God, and if you don't believe in God and you believe in another half, I want you to say, I believe in this, and nobody else in the world know I said it today. That's what I want you to do. I want you to come over to this channel. I want you to be mindful of what you're doing. I want you to be mindful of how you're treating yourself and be mindful of how you're living from day to day. Y'all. So there's a lot of good things in this video, and I've been excited to tell y'all about it. The next thing and the last thing that I have, because I give y'all 3 points per video, is God is not against you. I want you to be mindful that God is not against you, honey. He ain't against me. He is not against me. We are growing in grace. And y'all, it is something about grace. And I heard it yesterday, and I was like, and I've heard it before, and I'm like, grace. To just sit and know that we can be in peace, and to know that there is somebody out there that is not against us. Y'all, there are so many things coming at us. There are so many obstacles that we are going to face and that we are facing. But to know that there is somebody up there that is not against us. No matter how much we fail, how much we've started over, how much we made a promise and we've broken it, he loves us regardless. Y'all, I think that speaks for itself. I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments down below. But I just want you to know, be mindful that God is not against you. We're going through things, and I may say this in almost every one of my videos, but when I tell you God is not against you and he's working with you, I'm going to continue to say that, because I truly do believe that. And I truly believe that I need to tell you that he is not done with you and that he is not against you, honey. And just because you're going through something right now, and just because you are uncomfortable, and yes, you will be uncomfortable, that just means you are being transformed, honey. You are being transformed. You are not the same you. Do you want to be who you were a year ago? I mean, think about it. I mean, you are growing in a way that, you need to grow. And to say that you don't want to be uncomfortable and going through these changes is you telling God that he don't know what he doing. And I know you ain't telling him that, honey. I ain't finna say that. I ain't finna tell him that, and I ain't finna think that, because I don't believe that. God knows exactly what he's doing. God is not against you, and God is not done with you, honey. I want you to be mindful of all these things as you go throughout your week. I want you to be mindful of these things, when you start to get down and feeling like what it is that I'm supposed to do. If nothing else, know that it's okay to quit things that are no longer serving you. Be okay with knowing that there are things that you can do for yourself that don't include money. Self-care is a whole lot more than having a credit card and having a bank account with all the numbers in it. And be mindful, very mindful, that if you feel like everybody else in this world is against you, there's a God. You hear me? There is a God who is not against you. He's never been against you. Y'all, I hope y'all have enjoyed these videos. I hope you are enjoying these videos, and I hope that y'all can take something away from what I've said today. If there's something that really struck you, or something that you want to add, please leave that down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and your concerns, and I would love to hear some things that you're doing to be mindful as well. Let's uplift each other, let's encourage each other, and let's continue to be mindful of how we're living and how we're growing and how we're being closer to God. So, as always, I'll see y'all in my next video. Be blessed, be sweet, and be you. And I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye, y'all, and be mindful.